Hello and welcome to the Jess Strom Show. I'm your host, Katie Tetzlaw. It's a cold one out there today, but it's warm in here. We're with two unbelievable special guests. We have Sherelle George, we actually call her BeBe, and Gina Vallecorsa, we actually call her G. Ladies, hello, how are you today?
I'm great.
Good, how are you?
Good. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Before we get started, please tell the viewers, just introduce yourself to the viewers.
I'm Cheryl BeBe George. I'm a junior here at California University, and I major in art, and I'm from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands.
I'm Gina Vallecorsa. I'm a junior. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and my major is accounting with a double minor in finance and forensic accounting.
So we were just talking before the show. Ladies, 3 years you've been here at CalU. Time is flying. I feel like we've known you all forever. BeBe, tell us a little bit about your time so far at CalU. You know, what are the things that you love so much about CalU, whether it's, basketball or outside of basketball?
I honestly, being that this is my actual first time living outside of St. Thomas, this is a great experience. I wouldn't mind, moving to the States in the near future. But being here at California University has been a great experience for the 3 years I've been here.
Just loving it, loving hoops, loving school.
Yep, loving hoops.
Well,
loving
we all
school.
know that you are a social butterfly, so you probably know the whole entire campus. So I'm assuming that you have many friends too.
Definitely.
Which is really cool. Gee, now you've been here 3, comfortable in the program, comfortable at school, and I feel like you always have been. Tell us about what you like so much about CalU.
I think just the environment. I'm closer to home, so if I have a rough day or if something doesn't go my way, I always can just go home.
You can rely on on your support system close to home.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
nice.
much. And it just feels like home here as well, I guess.
Yeah, so that sense of family around.
Yeah.
I know, like I said, you guys are super tight with your teammates, which is awesome, and I think it creates just a fun experience for everyone involved. So, ladies, just kind of talking about the season. Right now, 15-1, 9-1 in the PSAC. A great start to the season. Tell us, BeBe, when you were at home at St. Thomas in the summer, and you were getting ready to come back to CalU, what was your mindset to come into preseason, and to start the season? What were your thoughts when you thought about coming back and getting ready to start basketball?
My thoughts was, it's going to be work, 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 and nothing but work. No days off. Every day you wake up and you go hard from the peak of the morning. From when you open your eyes, you have to go hard.
Yeah, and you all were up in the peak of the morning. I mean,
before the sun. We was waking up before the sun.
Morning. It was all morning in preseason. Are you a morning person, BeBe? Like, does it take you a little bit to get out of bed, or are you a little groggy?
I'm not groggy.
You just get up and go?
I don't wake up silent. But when I catch myself, when the blood starts to float, then I'm a social butterfly.
Yeah, then you start getting going. Gina, is it tough for you to get up in the morning for preseason?
Yes, because who wants to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning every day?
But you do it.
I do it, but I don't like running.
Yeah.
So waking up at 6 a.m. and just thinking, oh, Gina, you have to go run again. It's like, oh, man.
But somehow, some way, you found a way to do it, because the preseason is here and gone. We're, basically in 3 more games, I believe, we're getting ready to start the second round of the PSAC. And I just can't believe that it's already that time. Someone on the radio said, hey, in 2 months, most college basketball seasons are going to be over. And I thought to myself, oh, man, I know that we're, 16 games in, but it seems like we kind of are just getting started.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about the work that you put in to practice, BeBe. So when you come into practice every day, and you know that we have preparation. Now we're a little messed up on schedule because Seton Hill was canceled because of all that snow on Saturday. I know we were knee deep in it, but
there was so much, let me tell you.
But you know what? They have to make that call, so it's out of everybody's hands. It is what it is. So limited preparation. We had a lot of preparation for Seton Hill, but we're getting ready to play IUP on Wednesday. Tell us about your mindset in preparation. Doesn't matter for what game, about what you go to practice and what your thoughts are about what you need to do.
Well, my thoughts when we go into practice is that I have to come correct. I have to go through, not the motions, but do what I need to do to make myself better and make sure my teammates could rely on me.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the best qualities about a great teammate, like being trustworthy, making sure that you're showing up on time, making sure that they're trusting yourself to go hard every day, and then make sure, and it's tough sometimes to pay attention to what the other team is trying to do, but I think we've done a great job. Gina, getting up for a big game, like, obviously we're going to play the #1 team in the nation. Any particular routines that you do, anything that you do differently? I mean, to me, every game is the same. They're all equally as important, especially when you play in the PSAC, where every day is a battle. Gina, any way that you prepare yourself for game day?
Well, after shoot around, I normally try and do ice and heat bath for 10 minutes.
So a little bit of treatment.
Yeah.
Get your body right.
Yeah, like, I don't know, it just helps my legs, it feels like. I don't know if it's just in my head, but I like doing that on game days, that's for sure. And then now with classes back in session, obviously you have to go to class. So, I mean.
Just take care of that business on there. And, tell the viewers, I don't know if people understand this, especially for the state schools, what a long break it is. From the time, obviously we have our games before Christmas break, and we have, roughly, I believe, 7 days off at Christmas time. And then you're back at Cal U, and a lot of schools are back at their universities, basically by yourself with the men's team, without class, and during break, and it's just basketball, basketball, basketball. Do you like winter break?
I like the snow that winter break brings.
You like snow because it was only, 3 years ago that you saw your first drop of snow.
time.
And you loved it. You might be the only person on the team that loves the snow, BeBe. You know that.
Yep. I could tell.
Yeah. Because you're not around it. You don't get to see that at home. So it's a nice change of pace for you.
Yep. We don't even think about snow back at home.
Oh, yeah. You're on the islands thinking about all that sun. Gina, what about you? Do you like Christmas break and kind of being on campus by yourself? Or do you miss the routine?
I like the beginning of Christmas break, but after like the first 3 weeks, I start to get really, really bored.
Yeah.
Because it just feel like it's the same thing. Wake up, practice, and then after practice, it's like, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah, just kind of relaxing, watching movies.
Yeah.
Any Netflix series that you guys are into right now over break?
Yeah, a couple.
Not me.
What were you doing? Working on your art projects?
Sleeping.
Painting, sleeping.
Eating, sleeping. That sounds like a fun break to me.
It was okay.
Yeah?
It was okay.
Oh, good. All right, so big games coming up. What do you think that we need to do as a team, BeBe, to be successful from now until the end of the last regular season?
Keep the same energy. Like, even if we go up in energy, never drop below what we already accomplished, and keep the chemistry. Because our chemistry this year, I'm in love with it.
Yeah.
I'm in love with our team chemistry this year.
Yeah, it's a fun group to be around. I can tell just, even from the time we stretch, the time we're done, no complaints. No one complains about practice. I'm sure there might be. You might have some days where you don't want to do it. But, everyone seems to be engaged with each other. A lot of chemistry, a lot of laughs, a lot of fun. But when it comes down to business and getting things accomplished, we really do that well. So, Gina, what do you think that we need to do, as we prepare to make the big push at the end of the year? What BeBe said about our chemistry and about going hard. Same thing?
Yeah, but I think we just need to become more consistent with ourselves, like especially defensively and right now offensively, because not many teams are playing us man, and that's like what we're good at on the offensive side. Mm-hmm. So now I think we just have to figure things out, like when we're playing offense, when they're playing in a zone or some type of.
Gotcha. And Gina, big change defensively, I think that we've seen over the years from you. Cal U is a different system. Coming from Bishop Canevin, and you come from a great high school program. I think everybody knows that. Yeah. Always in the top teams in the WPIAL. One of your teammates is with us now, Bree Allen. That's here as a freshman. What was the big change for you now that you've had 2 years under your belt to play, and then this year making a huge impact with the team?
Well, over the summer, I went home. I got myself healthy because my feet tend to break on me.
Yeah, you were a little bit injured last year.
And then I went home and I just talked to people about some things that I could do to like get quicker feet and like work out and all this stuff. So I took some boxing classes. So I was boxing all summer as on top of working out with one of my old high school grade school coaches, actually.
Mr. Dave
Mr.
Long,
Long.
one of North Catholic's finest. Love the Long
Yes.
family out of Pittsburgh. Know him really well. And
He definitely helped me a lot, and I also got the chance to like work with like his nieces and his grandchildren. And like my brother came and worked out with us a couple times too
just
at
getting in
the
the gym. And
good
actually
old
enjoy
Friday
it.
Street. It wasn't in a gym, it was outside.
You brought it back old school. You brought it back
For
old
sure.
school.
With the
Well,
double rims.
Yes. BeBe, what are you looking forward to as we start, we're in the grind of it in the middle. What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the hype. I'm looking forward to the hype.
What's the hype? Tell it to
The hype.
I'm old school. What does the hype mean?
The gains, baby, the muscles, the flexing, the let's get it.
Yeah. So you like to be out there. You're ready for the big games, which they're all big. So game by game, taking it, just doing our thing and working hard. Gina, what are you looking forward to?
Everything, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I know as coaching staff and being a player, I think a lot of times players always look to the end. What playoffs. I've been so happy with this group taking it game by game. And that's what people can say, they take it game by game, but there's a lot of people that look ahead. And that's one thing I think our group has done really, really well is day by day, putting in the work, coming prepared, coming on time, just handling their business outside. We've been really good as a group together, just making sure that we're maintaining. You guys had awesome grades this semester, both on the court and in the classroom, just doing all that you can to help the program. I know that we appreciate it. We appreciate you coming on today. I know sometimes you guys said it's a little nerve-wracking to be on the Jess Strom show, but I thought you guys did a great job. So that's the end of our first half of the Jess Strom show. We'll be back with Jess Strom show with Jess, the main lady, right after the break. Welcome back to the second half of the Jess Strom show. We're here with our head coach, Miss Jess Strom. Welcome back to the show.
Feels good to be here.
Feels good to be back. Freezing outside, right?
Too cold.
I mean,
Angry cold.
Angry cold, yeah. I know that you're a person that can't stand the cold. It makes me laugh every time, but it is really cold. So I won't even say, I give you that excuse to be cold because it's just nasty cold out there.
Good thing we play indoors.
Exactly. I heard a quote one time, a coach said, we have a lot of great outside shooters, but too bad all of our games are played indoors. And it makes me laugh every time. So little chuckle for the show. So big week, interesting week here on the show, or not here on the show, but for basketball. 3 games, 1 week. Had a little bit of a cancellation with the Seton Hill game. Getting ready to prepare for both IUP and Mercyhurst this week. How did that play a role in your preparations for what you do with the team?
Yeah, I think it was just a little kink in our plans. We usually have 2 days to prepare, and I think the kids are kind of on a schedule, so they are ready for that. And we really didn't find out till Friday afternoon, that we weren't going to play Saturday. So you just have to figure out the best way to approach it. Obviously we had more time for Seton Hill. We don't ever look ahead, so it's not like we were going to start preparing for IUP yet. But then it's 2 more days of practice when the kids think they have a game and an off day. So you kind of just have to keep it interesting. Saturday we got in. We got a ton of shots up. Didn't do much Seton Hill stuff. We just kind of got some shots up. Sunday, brief, but went over Seton Hill again. You just kind of have to shorten things, I think, because you know you have to save some legs when you're not having your off day.
Getting a lot of outside shots seems to be the mantra here for the Cal U women's basketball team on offense. I know we talk a lot about our defense, but many teams playing zone lately seems to be a common theme. Handling ourselves pretty well. What are your thoughts on that, Jess?
Yeah, I don't think we are the greatest outside shooters, but I don't think we are as bad as everyone thinks either. So, I think just getting the confidence to play against the zone defense, we've been really crushing the offensive rebounding against the zone. So, I feel like if we're missing shots, at least we're having people rebound. And we're still winning games. So hopefully one day someone will play us man-to-man again. But, either way, you just give what the other teams take. You take what the other team gives you, and you just have to prepare either way.
Yeah, and to us, doesn't make a difference. I mean, obviously, you run your stuff versus what you have. I mean, whatever the team runs, I mean, as a coach, that's what you do. You adapt, and I think that's one of the great things about, our squad is, they can adapt very quickly to changes. Even with young players, we were just talking recently. Yesterday in the third quarter and fourth quarter, a lot of young players playing in the game for the Vulcans here in moments that were big.
Yeah, and they've been, progressing all year long. So, they show it every day in practice. It's not like you just throw them in the game and hope for the best. They actually prove themselves in practice every day. So, kind of trust them in the game, late game situations. Oh, here we go. So here's the highlights from yesterday. There's Gina hitting a three. Obviously, we still want to play defense to offense, so I'm sure these are a lot of our shots that went in. But
always offensive highlights here.
Always, but we did force 20 turnovers too. So, the main thing about us, here we go, turnovers to layups. That's what we really want to see because our defense can be consistent. You're going to have off shooting days, but hopefully defensive effort, defensive pressure is pretty consistent. Here we go, 2 in a row.
Yeah, this is exciting stuff here for CUTV with the defensive highlights. We're loving it.
Getting in the passing lanes, that's what we like to do. There's a freshman right there, Lauren Bennett, who, has played some games, has not played some games. So it's really nice to see that she was ready to go when we called on her yesterday. And Shauna has been playing more minutes for us here lately, and she did a great job yesterday afternoon of rebounding the basketball. And again, a freshman. So, they really have been coming up pretty big for us in a whole bunch of different situations. And there's our seniors. It was at the end of the game, I think, our 2 seniors and then, 3 freshmen. So it's a great experience for them, to be in close games, to be in games that mean something, especially going towards the second half of the season and hopefully towards the playoffs.
Yeah, and Seton Hill, a great team. It was a really, really good game. Always a great game against Seton Hill. They can shoot the ball very well. I have a big playmaker this year transferring from Drexel. So it was a fun game throughout the whole game.
Yeah, it was a close game the whole way. We've had some close games lately, which is good. I'd rather us be in those situations now so we know how to play later in the season. It's always obviously better if you come out with a win, but you learn from these games that are close.
And, and just when you need a bucket, Miss Reliable, Sierra Barrett coming up big. Fourth quarter was a monster quarter for her, just getting to the rim, even against the zone, hitting some outside shots. But, like you said, those offensive rebounds were crucial. The score was 66-59. And Seton Hill, a great team coming into the game at 11-5. I think it was really cool about what we're doing on the offensive glass. Like you said, if people are going to play a zone and we put up some shots, if there's going to be a miss, we're hoping to have the people that can get up in the air and attack the glass to get that. Shauna Harrison, big with double-double, in games that she might have only averaged 6 to 8 to 10 minutes, played significant minutes.
Yeah, she did. And I really enjoy this about this team. You never know who's going to go in the game.
Ever.
Because we have so many people that can go in and do good things that you always have to be ready. Our whole bench at any time could go in. So I think, our players do a really good job of just being prepared. Like they might not play 1 minute that game, but if they do, just being ready to go in.
And as the head coach, Jess, that gets to make the ultimate decision of who goes in. What's your process like when you're sitting there and we always talk as a staff, hey, what do you think about subs? What is your thought process on who to sub at what time? Because like you said, it's a great problem to have that many people that can go in, but also challenging.
It is. And this year I found it very challenging because you might not put someone in who, if they did go in, could have produced, good numbers. But I just take into account a whole bunch of things, a feeling pretty much at the end of the day is what it is. But I remember practice that week. I remember who was focused. I remember who, was playing great defense that week. It depends if they're playing a man or a zone. It depends, like how our starters are playing. If someone's just having an off day, then obviously someone else has to go in. So I think it's a whole bunch of different factors. But it comes down to just kind of a feeling about who's ready that day.
So Wednesday, big game. I think, Cal U is used to playing big games. I think all of them are big for us. To me, no difference if you play one team to another. It's a game that needs to be won. But obviously this is a pretty big one. The number 15 team in the nation, the number 1 team in the nation. Tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, I think it's always exciting when it's Cal IUP to begin with.
Yep.
They beat us pretty bad the end of the season last year. So I hope our players have that in the back of their head. It was a beating.
A sour taste in the mouth.
It was a beating. So, just going in, no matter what we're ranked, no matter what they're ranked, I think it's always going to be IUP and Cal going against each other. They have great players. They play really well together as a team. They make shots. Right now they're number 1 in the country. So who wouldn't want to go there and play against them? And I think it's so good for our conference too. Like we have the number 1 team in the country in our conference. And so that gives us the chance to play them at least twice. So just for NCAA rankings, for the regional rankings, I think it's huge for us.
Absolutely. And the thing that's great about this, and everyone in the PSAC, hey, respect everyone. There's so many respectable teams in our league every single night. And if you look at the West standings, Indiana, obviously IUP number 1, Cal number 2, Edinburgh 3, Slippery Rock 4. But if you look at that, if you just look at the people on that board, everybody is respected. Any night someone can just clip you, and everybody's ready. And here's the thing about IUP, Cal. A lot of times when you have some type of ranking attached to your name, everybody wants to beat you. And that's just how it is. But, tell us how we're getting ready in one day's time for IUP.
Yeah, it's very much, we're in tournament mode when we have one day to prepare. So, and it's kind of crazy today because we started classes again. So we're back to 6 a.m. film sessions,
Rise and
which
shine.
These kids, I'm sure they love. But you have to you deal with what you get, right? So we have to deal with our class times. So we got up this morning, watched film at 6:30, practiced for a little bit, went through IUP stuff. Obviously, they have a lot of stuff. We went through
a lot of sets.
The main things that we think they might run against us. But just our typical preparation. I think our kids were really focused today in film. I think, in our hour practice that we went over their stuff, I think they were focused. I think they know this is a big game for us, so they're mentally there.
Absolutely. And they're all big, right? I mean, everyone's big. So looking forward, Jess, what do you want to see from the team at this point right now through the end of the regular season? Because getting ready to start that second half, I can't believe it. We have IUP, Mercyhurst, Clarion, the upcoming schedule. So tomorrow, I believe that's at 5:30, the January 23rd game tomorrow at IUP. And then obviously Saturday at home versus Mercyhurst, and then Clarion. And then we start on February 2nd. That's the second half of the West schedule. Getting ready to go around once more. What would you like to see, Jess, and what are your thoughts about practice and as we get ready to make this last push towards the end of the year?
Yeah, and I think Gina might have said the word I would say is consistency. I think our players go hard. I don't think it's a question of them coming in every day and working hard. I think it's a matter of focus and just consistency. I think we have players that will have a great game and then a not so good game, or we might shoot great or not great. We might be in the right spots on defense and then the next time down not. So, I think it's just everybody doing their job consistently. I think like I said, our effort is there.
Always.
Always.
You've never had to coach effort at Cal U, and that's
No.
one thing that I love being a part of this program. The expectation is the expectation. Everyone knows that you go hard because that's just what we do. But like you said, putting together the mental, the consistency, How do you get them to do that?
I think it's just a focus. You know, I think individually they have to realize their weaknesses and then just work on those. You know, I think sometimes our players try to help everybody else out and then they kind of lose track of what they're doing. So I just think that everybody individually has to get better at their job.
Yeah. So it's a big week for the Vulcans. Really looking forward to it. I think that about wraps up our show. And viewers, we ask you to come on out. If you can't get to the IUP at 5:30 tomorrow, you can always visit our website, webcast it always, and then come on out to the home game on Saturday at 1 versus Mercyhurst. We greatly appreciate all your support. And that's the end of the Jess Strom Show. Until again, stay warm out there.